Khalil, I know we have a lot to talk about in terms of UFC 320, your fight with Jiri, but I don't think I've had a chance to ask you about one of the most like viral shorts that ESPN has ever published, and it's this video of you in training. Can you just walk me through the complete charisma and swagger that's involved in executing this maneuver?
Let's see. Oh, the sweep. Mm. That's funny. Oh, ESPN posted that. That's cool. Yeah, what do you want to know about it?
Just what's going through your mind, man? Like that's some cocky shit to pull off in training, and I love to see it.
Yeah, so the guy in the video is Conway. Really good training partner of mine. We love to kind of like bully each other,
Mm.
like he's one of the toughest guys I know. We like to do like body shot for body shot, teep for teep. We like clinching. It's just like, I don't know, something about Conway's energy and like his spirit. Um, he really brings it, and we just like to beat each other up. And we both love Muay Thai, so yeah, I set him up with a knee, and then knew that he was going to answer back, so hit him with the sweep. Um, I know from the outside looking in, it's kind of like that's kind of messed up, but yeah, like I said, Conway and I, we like that's our relationship. We like to kind of like we like to bully each other, and then right after, like people don't really get the video of like us smiling and like
Yeah.
hugging after. So yeah.
Well, it's I feel like when you think of bullies in MMA, you don't really think of Khalil, so I hope people can use their common sense in deducing as much. When we look at the Yuri fight, I think obviously you guys have Jamal Hill as your shared last opponent, but the fight that I find myself going back to a lot and trying to sort of like assess how this fight shapes out is your fights against Alex Pereira. When looking back at how much Yuri struggled with Poatan, what are some of the lessons you can take away in your approach to fighting Yuri?
Oh, I've never thought about that. I never really like looked at that fight and like tried to learn anything from it. Um, yeah, that's never really been my approach. I think that from the fights that I have seen from Yuri and from the things that people continue to uh, reiterate and bring up is like the unique style and the movement and the head movement and all this stuff, and it's like, okay, that's very apparent. And so I've just done my best to to prepare for that and to expect that, and yeah, and to bring my best skill, against that type of style. Yeah.
When you hear Yuri say something like he's preparing new quote unquote deadly attacks for you, like what does that mean to you?
Again, I had never heard that until now. You're the first person, you know what I mean? So, um,
He's a quirky guy,
I don't
man.
like,
He's,
I really don't know how to answer that. I mean, yeah, I would hope so.
he's
I would
have you
hope
heard
so.
of like any of the like he's like swimming under 30 meters of ice. He's covering his nose with like a peg and holding his mouth shut while he does 40-second sprints. Like, martial artists can be kind of zany folks. What do you make of all these sort of atypical approaches to training that some fighters take? He's not the only one. I think of like Diego Sanchez, for example. Like, does it make
Honestly,
sense to
I
you?
think it's more, I honestly see it as like that's more of like a personal thing.
Mm.
Like that's him dealing with whatever emotions and fears and all that stuff that he has to deal with. There's many healthy ways in life of like dealing with like mental health problems, and you know what I mean, like emotional insecurities and all that stuff. So if it feels like you need to dive under ice and cover your mouth and hold your breath to kind of face your fears, then like so be it. But like that's how I look at it. Like he's doing all of that stuff like for himself, you know what I mean? Like there's internal there's stuff internally that he's dealing with, and that's the shit that he has to do to like to deal with that. I'm detached from that. Like, cool. You know what I mean? Yeah, like at least it's not, partying and, all this other
Hmm.
stuff. Like, like cool. Can it apply to the fight? Yeah, sure. But yeah, like cool. Maybe I'll try it. Like who knows? Like I'm not around ice, so I can't do it. But yeah, I could see it being, pretty relieving for the spirit and stuff like that.
I had a chance to read through your GQ feature today, which was super refreshing in terms of like diving into the mind of a fighter in the UFC. And there's a quote there that I really liked. I am as equally violent and dangerous, and as I am sensitive and kind and sweet. Why do you think people have such a hard time openly communicating their feelings? Because I know you mentioned it's kind of a prerequisite for the people who you are friends with, and sometimes I'll start dialogues with people and I'll be like, oh, like you have all these guards up that you are not willing to like peel down. Like, why do you think it is people get to that point where it's so scared for them to talk about anything personal?
Because I think like no one likes getting hurt.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like no one likes their heart broken. No one likes to be embarrassed. No one likes to be made fun of. There's just a lot of different things, but I think it all comes down to like at the end of the day, like no one really wants to be hurt. And so it's hard to show that side of yourself because maybe past traumas, maybe like,
Mm.
maybe when someone was younger and they liked something and someone's like, oh, that's whack, or like, that's oh, you get made fun of for it. And they're like, okay, well, let me build this shell so that they never see that again because I don't want to experience, that response again. So I think that that's really what it comes from. It's hard, and I think also like nobody wants to be taken advantage of because that's
Mm.
also a terrible feeling. And we hear it all the time, like nice guys finish last and stuff. And like there's a part of that that's kind of true. Like if you're too kind, then yeah,
Mm.
you're a little bit more open to getting taken advantage of
Mm.
because there's essentially like no threat. So yeah, that's kind of how I see it. It's
Mm.
just, any if there are people who struggle with kind of embracing that side or showing that side, it's usually because it's like, man, like they just don't want to get hurt, you know? Um, yeah, in short, that's kind of like my take on it.
You mentioned getting your feelings hurt. Is Love Island UK really your favorite show? And if so, can you please sell me on it?
I would say like it's one of my favorites. I I like to watch it. My wife and I watch it together. Um, I've started to lately like watch television that's a little bit more like lighthearted or mindless,
Mm.
like stuff that's not so serious. And yeah, Love Island's like it's a bunch of, singles living in a house, kind of everyone's dating each other, trying to find their match. Um, there's a little bit of drama to it. It's cool. They pick, attractive people, so it's not bad to watch on TV. It's like, oh yeah, cool. You know what I mean? Like it's an easy thing to just like, I don't want to think about the serious problems in the world today. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to like stress out about all this stuff. So like if
Mm.
I put on Love Island, it's a little bit more lighthearted. It's you know what I mean? It's people dating, it's chemistry. So and it's easy to watch with my wife, Like so when I get home and I spend time with my wife, if she's watching Love Island, I watch it, I get hooked. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Um, but yeah, I think it's worth watching if you enjoy uh, just like watching people like
The
connect
social
and
experiment of
flirt.
it,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Yeah, like a social experiment. Like, oh, this guy's got game. Oh, this guy, like blah blah blah. It's I don't know. It's interesting. It's one of my favorites. I wouldn't say it's my number one, but yeah.
Last thing, because I know we got a heart out here, but I think the people will crucify me if I end this on a Love Island question. You can take your choice, whichever question speaks more to you. Prediction on how Yuri goes, nice and easy, or a little bit more complicated. What does a win get you here? Because now Alberg seems to be the backup fighter. If Pereira wins, who knows if they do a rematch? Like in your mind, what's the path forward for after beating Yuri?
Hmm. Let me take a second
Yeah,
let me just take a quick second.
I appreciate that.
My prediction is to put on a great, exciting performance that gets me the win. That's my prediction. Put on a great performance that the fans will love, that I'll be happy with, that ultimately produces victory for me, which in turn sets me up for an undeniable spot at the title. You know what I mean? I understand that there's other people and Olberg's in play and all that stuff. He just had a great win over Dominic Reyes, all that stuff. But all like that stuff doesn't necessarily concern me. I just know what I've been training for, what I'm capable of, and granted, I do everything right, which I plan to do everything right, how we've been working. It really, it sets me up for for another shot at the title.